Alright guys, welcome back to Days of Darkness and welcome to my review for the first Purge. This one came out in 2018. It is starring Yilan Noel, Lex Scott Davis, and Yovan Wade and was directed by Gerard McMurray. So, looking back at my election year review, I was definitely hard on that film, and rightfully so. It's not necessarily an awful Purge film or anything like that. It was just, there was a lot of stuff really holding it back. Especially, on my part, I was really impressed with the first Purge, or The Purge, the first film in the series. Yeah, the titles get kind of weird. But as someone who really enjoyed The Purge and The Purge Anarchy, I was left very disappointed with Election Year. I'm not going to act like either of those two first films are cinematic masterpieces or anything, but they sure as hell are very entertaining films, and they beat the fuck out of Election Year. Again, not saying Election Year is just a terrible film or anything like that, but there's just enough shit going wrong for it to where the things that I do enjoy, which I do enjoy things about the movie, but the things that I don't enjoy, unfortunately, outweigh the things that I do. And yeah, man, I thought we were going to have a situation where, all right, the series is going to start going down. We're going to start kind of getting some stinkers here. And no, I am pleasantly surprised to say that, honestly, I think the first Purge is the best sequel in the franchise so far. I have not seen the Forever Purge. I know with most of these I had seen them at least once. I have not seen the Forever Purge even one time. So I'll be going into that one blind. Maybe that one does unseat this, but as far as I'm concerned as of right now, dude, this movie kicked ass. I really, really enjoyed this one a lot. And there are some things that I think I can really tell a difference. Most notably, the director's chair now being taken up by Gerard McMurray, instead of the usual director, James DeMonaco. Again, no smoke to James DeMonaco. He did still write this movie. So, it's just, I feel like he kind of missed with Election Year in a lot of ways, and I really feel like that fresh pair of eyes in that director's chair really did benefit this film a lot. That being said, obviously James DeMonaco is responsible for the first two Purge movies, which I personally really enjoy. So, can't really hate on the guy too much. You can't win them all. But I think another thing that is going for this film that I really enjoy is the concept, the idea. People always shit on prequels, and to me, it's hit and miss. If there is enough story to warrant a prequel, then I'm all for it. But if you're just doing it as a cash grab, I'm not going to be in favor of that whatsoever. And yeah, man, there was plenty to explore here, and I really enjoy the fact that with this one, one of the things I really praised the first, the 2013 Purge, the first Purge film of the series. God, I'm gonna call it Purge 1. Purge 1. The thing I really admired about Purge 1 was the fact that it's a very isolated film. Now, obviously, this one does have a pretty sizable budget behind it, and it shows in a lot of cases, but it's nowhere near that same home invasion flick, but there still is an element of isolation there in the fact that, this is the first Purge ever. This is the first time that the Founding Fathers are ever even deciding to do this. So they're isolating it as an experiment to Staten Island, New York. And it's by no means a nationwide thing. And I don't know, there's something about that really, really does kind of add a lot of charm to the movie. In any of the other films thus far, it's not like we're seeing multiple cities and multiple countries plunged into chaos. It usually is isolated to one town, city, whatever. But the concept was really cool, and I like the fact that with that concept comes different behaviors from different characters. Thus far in this series, we've seen it's Purge night. if you're not going out, lock your fucking doors, stay inside, do whatever you can to protect yourself, because motherfuckers are going to be out there going goddamn crazy. With this film, it's the first time they're doing this. Nobody really knows what to expect. And obviously the government is going to, pay the people to be a part of the experiment, to stay in Staten Island. And they're targeting a lot of not so well off people. So, I can get $5,000 to just stay in my house. Okay. And some of the younger folks are like, okay, this is going to be an opportunity to fucking go out and party and do all the fucking drugs that I want, and, maybe rob a couple stores here and there, and, just cause a little bit of mayhem. No one really thinks of this as people are just going to be killing each other all night. And I really liked that. It was a really cool, sort of different take on the Purge series. I thought it was really cool. And we view this first time chaos through the lens of three different people, three different characters, all of whom I think are written very, very well. And I say that not because it's just the most crisp writing in the world or anything like that, but because this film really has a benefit of not having to juggle so many main protagonists. That is one thing about the two Purge sequels that was a little bit of a damper for me. Even Anarchy, which I did enjoy. It's the fact that, you're really dealing with two separate groups that just kind of commingle. And while I'm not going to act like the characters in Anarchy are, like, awful or anything, it's a lot to juggle there, writing-wise, and you don't get to dedicate as much time to all those characters. Whereas in this one, you only have three, and all three of those characters have a personal relationship with one another prior to this experiment. So there's a lot more emotional investment. There's a lot more tension when things really start to go awry. Obviously, they're not the only characters. We do follow some other side characters and stuff like that, but they're not nearly as important to the film as the three main ones are, instead of like 5 or 6 like we usually get. And of those three characters, first of all, we have Dimitri, who is basically the drug kingpin of Staten Island. He has carved out a very, very successful career for himself in the narcotics business, has multiple loyal people peddling for him. And he's carved out a very solid life for himself. This is a guy who grew up in a very rough life, in a very rough neighborhood. And he basically had to learn to take whatever he could get. And unfortunately, this is it. And he's made a go of it, and he's made a career out of it. And unfortunately, Dimitri's story is not too far off from reality. Unfortunately, we have parts of our country where people do have to resort to these types of things. And I love the arc that this man goes on, because you could definitely say, the stuff that he is selling to people, not directly, but the stuff that he is making money off of, the things that he is providing people with, is slowly killing them. And then he sees this tyrannical government come in and literally start wiping people out, like, for real, because they're not getting the results they want from this experiment. They want the population to get smaller, and so they don't have to invest so much in them, and which is fucked up, but it's, it is what it is. So he sees this, and he goes, no, fuck that. Like, I'm not gonna let this shit go down. And he really does become the John Rambo of this movie, because you can tell this guy, I don't think it was ever said if he's ex-military or anything like that, but I could believe it. Holy fuck, this dude fucks people up in this movie. Really, really, really enjoyed this character. To me, I would put him right up there with Frank Grillo's character from the previous 2 movies. Just a fucking solid badass. And we also have Naya and Isaiah, who are brother and sister. Naya being the ex-girlfriend of Dimitri, and she pretty much serves as that angel on Dimitri's shoulder, who she's basically saying like, look, you're just settling things with violence, and you're like literally, she doesn't really say this a whole lot, but he's basically, he's doing what the government is about to do anyways. He's like actively killing people, not directly, but he is having people shot and killed in his own neighborhood. These people that he claims to care about so much, and he's putting them in danger. And she really does serve as that angel on his shoulder, to where by the end of the movie, he really does turn things around, which was cool to see. One of the people that he is also, putting in danger, albeit he doesn't know about it, but that's just the result of the business he runs, is he can't really know about everything. Isaiah, Naya's younger brother, decides to start making a little extra money for the family. He's tired of living in this shitty little fucking apartment in Staten Island. He wants to make a better life for him and for his family. And so he starts, he joins up with Dimitri's business, and he starts selling drugs on a corner. Unfortunately for him, that corner is inhabited by Skeletor, who is, besides the government, is the main antagonist of the film. And holy shit, I think this guy might be my favorite, like, villain of the entire series. This dude is off of his fucking rocker. And when, that interview that he has, because throughout the early going of the film, you see certain citizens of Staten Island being interviewed if they want to, participate in the Purge or not. And when they get to Skeletor, man, holy fuck, dude. This guy is unhinged. Terrific performance. Great character stuff here, man. I thought Skeletor was fucking awesome. But he does end up confronting Isaiah, tries to get some free drugs off of him. Isaiah, refuses. And he fucking takes a razor blade out of his mouth and just slashes Isaiah with it. Doesn't kill him, but he slashes him right on the neck, and it's like, oh God. A little bit up there, man. You could have nicked an artery or something. But Isaiah's okay, a little hurt, he's fine. One of Isaiah's buddies tries to shoot down Mr. Skeletor, but he runs off. So, yeah, man, Isaiah's pissed. This guy basically made him look like a bitch in front of all of his buddies, and now he wants revenge. Ergo, he's gonna purge, and he's gonna try and kill this motherfucker. Now, Naya doesn't know about that, and we get some really, really good moments where, Isaiah blatantly lies to Naya, saying like, oh yeah, I'm in Brooklyn, I'm not gonna, I'm safe, I'm fine, but really, he's trying to go out and catch a body, and that body being one of the most psychotic motherfuckers I've ever seen in one of these Purge movies. So, good luck, bud. But yeah, man, I think the characters in this film are just so well done. I think all three really do have a very satisfying arc as the movie wraps up. And yeah, man, just some really, really good shit here. And some really fucking awesome scenes in this movie. I love, the idea of purge parties. Like I said before, these people are not necessarily all going out to just kill one another. They really don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. They're like, oh, I get to fucking, stay in my hometown and party for a whole fucking night and do whatever the fuck I want. Fuck yeah. Like, hell yeah. So they have this big ass fucking purge party in the middle of this street. And these motherfuckers are just getting down, having a good fucking time. And in comes Skeletor, man. And he, at one point, fucking straight up Freddy Krueger style, man. From Dream Warriors, I believe. Yeah, Dream Warriors. He fucking has the syringes taped to his fucking fists. Or just one fist. And he has a knife. I don't recall him using the syringes, which is a bummer. He should have. As fucked up as that sounds for me to say. But yeah, he has these syringes, and he just goes into this crowd of people that are all just trying to have a good time. And he just slowly just kind of starts, just kind of fucking people up and killing people. And nobody even realizes it until he's like 2 or 3 bodies deep. And by then, man, he's caused some fucking chaos, dude. He stabs another dude at the fucking ATM, and that's like the first ever purge kill in history. gotten by fucking Skeletor himself. Yeah, just some really fun scenes with him. Isaiah gets in some crazy shit, man, going through all these different. Oh, there's one. It's like it looks like a steel mill or something. He's wandering around in because he runs away from Skeletor. Because at the end of that party scene, he tries to shoot him, but he fucking chickens out and runs away. And he runs away to this steel mill, and we get some just scary looking motherfuckers in there with these like almost paper mache looking masks, and the way it's lit. And since it's an experiment, they have these contact lenses that everyone wears, and it's to record all of their actions, but it's also to fucking make people look cool in the movie. And like everyone has glowing fucking eyes. At least the people who are participating in the Purge. Dimitri also gets into some shit too, and one of his own cronies stages a revolt against him. He wants to overthrow Dimitri. He's tired of, being a yes man, basically. And fucking A, it does not work out too well for him. He tries to hire two ladies of the night, I guess you'll call them. And they go in there and try to kill this big, jacked, seemingly ex-military motherfucker. It's like, I don't know why you would try to have them do it, but whatever. And yeah, man, they do not succeed. And fucking Dimitri just kills this motherfucker right in front of everybody, man. He doesn't even give a shit. It's cool to see a protagonist that is not necessarily, the most morally pure guy in the world. He definitely has a lot of edge to him. He has no problem just straight up killing a motherfucker in cold blood. Good shit. And speaking of Dimitri, it all fucking comes to a head where he finds out that basically the government, like I said, has hired a private militia to come in and really get the body count up so that, the founding fathers don't look like fools for hosting this whole experiment just so people can party all night, which is mostly what's happening. And yeah, man, Dimitri catches wind of this, and that's where he really does turn around. And he's like, you know what? No, I'm tired of watching all these people die, even though he might have played a hand in that in the past, but whatever. We're all about new beginnings here in the Purge. So he's like, fuck that. I'm not letting these motherfuckers win. I'm not letting them take out, my whole fucking neighborhood. That's not going to happen. And plus he realizes that Naya, who he still does, both of them still clearly have feelings for one another. He realizes that Naya and Isaiah are also in this apartment building that is about to get raided. And I will say, man, a really, really cool looking villain fucking guy. He has this leather mask on. He's only introduced in the apartment. That's really the only, bit we get of him. Really wish we would have had a little more time with that character. But, as I just said, if you try to do that, then it takes away from other people. That being said, though, man, really fucking gnarly looking villain. He has all these goons with him. And they start breaking in and just start killing people, man. And they just bust down people's doors, shooting people up. It's fucking heavy, man, for sure. But Dimitri does come in and save the day. We get a really tense face-off here where, they're basically cornered, man. They're fucked. But then of all people, Skeletor seemingly saves the day and buys them some time. And he just starts wiping out these military armed men. Drugs will do a lot of things to you, man. Including making you a fucking powerhouse. But Skeletor, I will say, does kind of get an anticlimactic death where he does pick off a couple of the militia members, but the rest of them just gun that motherfucker down. So, kind of a bummer. I kind of wish we got a more impactful death for Skeletor, especially since he was, like, the most entertaining villain of the entire movie. But hey, it is what it is. And that distraction does buy Dimitri enough time to formulate a plan where he grabs this explodey fucking thing that he got earlier on while preparing for this battle, and he fucking throws it. Big fucking explosion. Basically wipes out this entire floor of this fucking apartment building. And yeah, man, wipes everybody out except for the good guys, because that's just how, plot armor works. And yeah, man, all these guys get out unscathed, Can't say the same thing for their home. I am kind of concerned what they're going to do about that, but hey, the movie itself has a happy ending. It seems like Dimitri's going to kind of turn things around and really start to try and benefit his neighborhood with all the money he's made. So a happy ending in that regard, but unfortunately this experiment is a rousing success, and now we have a nationwide purge that will be happening next year, which, yeah, fuck. And we can see that goes on for quite a long time in the canon of this series. But yeah, man, overall, I really, really, really enjoyed this. This is easily the most solid Purge sequel. I think the world of this movie. Are there still some little problems here and there? Yeah, there is. There still is some spotty dialogue here and there, but like I say, I really feel like the problems that Election Year and Anarchy kind of suffer from, this one has too, but it is much less so. It is much less prominent. I'll say that, and it really does show because like I said, I think the world of this movie. Really, really liked it. And that'll do it for my review portion of the video. But you know what we gotta do now, baby. We gotta get into the blood, the guts, and the gory bits. We gotta get to my kill of the film. Stick around. I really enjoyed the first Purge. I really, really think that, the problems that this series kind of suffered from, while some of those things are still here, they're much, much less noticeable in this one. And I really think it does benefit the film a lot. However, another thing that I will demote some points off this film for is the fact that, again, not a whole lot of interesting stuff as far as kills are concerned. Get a lot of stabs, get a lot of bang bangs, I mean, it's cool, it's fine, But for me and what you guys know I like as far as horror is concerned, yeah, you don't get a lot of the red stuff, which, it's not the type of film, I get it. But, come on, give me something. But, yeah, really not a lot here as far as the blood and the guts are concerned. Mainly the only thing I could really give kill the film to was there is a scene where, Dimitri's brawling with a lot of the militia members in this staircase, and he, boots one guy down the stairs, and then he gets on top of him and just strangles the life out of this motherfucker, man. He, just, you can see it because he's all masked up, but you can see it in his eyes as he starts popping blood vessels and shit, and he just slowly chokes the life out of him. And he's so goddamn strong to the point where he's squeezing his neck so hard where his neck just fucking breaks. He just fucking breaks his neck just by strangling him. It's like, holy shit. That was the only kill in the film that I really popped for. Nothing crazy, but definitely fucking brutal, and it is my kill of the film. And that'll do it for the first Purge, man. Really, really solid film here, man. If you want to if you're in the mood for a Purge movie and you've seen the original, you don't want to sit there and watch all of them. As far as right now, if you need to just choose one, fuck, man, this one or the first one. Or, the first in the... You know what I mean, goddammit. Really, really solid stuff here, man. And as always, guys, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for supporting the channel, supporting the dream. And as always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and for the love of all things gory, keep watching horror. Alright, guys. Have a good day.